All right. So this was one of the most interesting ones I saw from this week. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, argues that we should stop saying kids should learn to code. He argues that the rise of AI means that we can replace programming languages with human language prompts, thus enabling everyone to be a programmer. AI will kill coding, he says. I'm just going to come out and say that I think he's wrong. But let's listen to what he has to say here.
I want to say something, and it's going to sound completely opposite of what people feel. Over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody.
Okay. It's vital that your children learn computer science. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's for everybody. But if you're interested in it, I mean, I don't want to stop anybody. But well, I
Learn
don't.
how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program, and that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. The countries, the people that understand how to solve a domain problem in digital biology or in education.
That that point I do think is interesting. I think there is something important about unlocking all the knowledge, the domain specific knowledge in those fields. I think he's right in that aspect. But the idea that no one should know how to code anymore is kind of wild to me. Partially because I'm a software developer. I spent a lot of time learning how to do this, so that makes sense. But also because they're looking to make English the programming language of choice. And that's odd to me. Like English is a very imprecise way to program computers. It's actually quite ambiguous when you try to like you might think it's I can get code out of a computer so much easier with my words, but the ambiguity that you can get there is much greater. I don't agree that it's good for code. It might be good for exploration, but I don't agree that it's good for production things. Maybe I think the place where it's going to be most useful is in like research, like writing research code. But even then, like, do you trust what the LLMs are throwing out? Do you trust that it's right? You might want a developer to go look over that. you you might want someone to make sure that whatever that AI wrote is right. So I don't know, but let's hear him out the rest of the way.
People, or in manufacturing, or in farming, those people who understand domain expertise now can utilize technology that is readily available to you. You now have a computer that will do what you tell it to do. It is
I think
vital
that
that we
element is
upskill
cool.
everyone. And the upskilling process, I believe, will be delightful, surprising. I'm going to say something, and it's
Is that upskilling though? Like learning how to interface with an LLM. That's not upskilling. That's not improving. It's not adding skills to your repertoire. Unless he's talking about upskilling the AI. I could see that's possible. But upskilling the person because of the LLM. I don't think that LLMs are good for learning. If you're using an LLM in a directed manner, you're using it to accomplish a goal. Often, I don't think people are, and this is all anecdotal. I have no, this is all just feel. But personally, when I use it, I don't really double check the code that like GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 gets me. I don't go double check it until I run it. And then I find out that it's wrong once I run it. And then I have to go back and fix it. And now I've left the flow, like, I've left the context of that code. So now I've got to go back in and read it and debug it. I think debugging code is going to be the killer skill for at least the next 10, 20 years based on this current arc of AI that we're on. The transformer style GPT large language models are only going to get us so far. I think in order to get to the next step in AI, I think we're going to need something more. I'm not sure we want something more, but I think it's going to require something more. So I don't see the need for developers going down anytime soon. And it really it's interesting. This is another aspect that I find interesting. NVIDIA, who employs how many programmers, is saying this. You're shooting yourself in the foot, aren't you? Like, don't you want people to be coders? Don't you want them to grow up coding? Because the things you're building run code, and someone's got to at least read the code at some point. So, and you're going to hire developers in the future. There's no way that they're going to replace some of these, like a senior NVIDIA developer. Do you think they're going to replace that with an LLM anytime soon? I don't see it. I think it's almost insulting to say that they will. I just it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm sure the C-suite would love it, but I don't think they would love the result. So I just it's a really weird statement to me. I don't get it. And maybe it does have something to do with their own LLM. I haven't tried it yet. But they've got like a star coder based local LLM that runs on graphics cards, so they'll sell more graphics cards, which is cool and all. But Olama can do the same thing with plugins in VS Code and NeoVim. So I don't. And it can do it with more than one model. So NVIDIA's solution may be easier to set up. That'll probably be the feature there. But I just maybe that and this announcement are somehow related, but I don't see the 4D chess being played here. Either this was just a really dumb comment, or there is some 4D chess play going on in the background, but I don't know. But in reality, like based on current world events, based on current trajectories, unless he knows something we don't, which is entirely possible, I think everybody who wants to learn to code should learn to code. I don't think there's anything that should stop you. I think there's plenty of jobs on the market right now, and I don't see those going away anytime soon. And hey, that's just my opinion, but I I just don't see it. I mean, developers are not in the same position as like a lot of people. I've seen the comparison made to like cars and horses. Developers aren't horses yet, at least. There's nothing indicating to me that we're outmoded quite yet. So I don't know. We'll see. Hey, if you liked this, please leave a thumbs up below. Maybe leave a comment telling me why I'm wrong. And have a good one.